Good evening, everyone, and welcome to GlenOak High School. I hope everyone had a good dinner. I appreciate everyone's forbearance with us this evening and splitting us up into two rooms. I sent an email to our executive board, and I also sent the same email to Rick Lewis. And Rick's response was the best response I got. We had to split the room because we have a boys basketball tournament game, and it would have been a little chaotic to have been up in our commons. And Rick's response to me was, you know, in the major leagues, the difference between a major leaguer and a minor leaguer is the major leaguers can hit a curveball. Well, playing local, I think we're in the major leagues tonight. My name is John Halkias. I'm the 2015 president of the Northeast region of the Ohio School Boards Association. And on behalf of OSBA, I'd like to welcome you here this evening. I want to introduce the group that you see before you this evening because after we do our Pledge of Allegiance, they're going to go right into their program. I'm very proud to be able to help bring you this evening's entertainment. These are the GlenOak Drifters. The Drifters are our premier vocal jazz ensemble from GlenOak High School. They're under the direction of Mr. Brian Kiefer, and they're just one of our student arts groups here that we're very proud of at GlenOak High School. So at this time, I'd like Denise Baba to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And please remain standing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was
Let's please give them another round of applause. These wonderful kids. And I know it's the same for all of you as it is for me, that these are the reasons why we as school board members do what we do, and I couldn't be more proud. They give me goose flesh every time I hear these kids sing. Mr. Kiefer, if you'll come over, we have a certificate for you and a token of our appreciation, too, from the Ohio School Boards Association. Keeping the public and public education is our regional theme this year. In relation to that theme, we'll have state updates and legislative information in our program. Speaking of legislation, political action committees are accounts from which contributions, PACs are accounts from which contributions can be made for us politically, and our political action committee is called Kids PAC. Kids PAC was established by OSBA Executive Committee to give board members the opportunity to belong to a PAC whose membership is aware of the problems that we all face in public education. We all need to be active players in contributing to Kids PAC, and I hope that you'll join us. We'll be hosting 2 legislative dinners, April 21st at Polaris Career Center and April 23rd at Columbiana JVS, with another biannual budget that will affect all our districts. These legislative dinners are very important for us to attend as board members, superintendents, and treasurers, to get an update on what's going on with current bills in the Ohio legislature. It's also a networking opportunity for everyone and question and answer time with legislators. We hope to see you there. The Northeast region will once again have a fundraiser for Kids PAC that will hold at the Akron Rubber Ducks. It'll be at Canal Park on June 27th. The game hosts us. It's a lot of fun. I hope to see some of you there as well. We also use that money to sponsor the Lester Marison Book Grant, which is what we do for kids here in the Northeast region. We also want to showcase this evening 2 other groups from our area. This year, Plain Local's video production group won 3rd place in the Ohio School Board Association Stand Up for Public Education video contest. So we want to showcase that group, as well as our neighbor, North Canton City Schools, who also was down at our OSBA Capital Conference doing a documentary for us on the OSBA Capital Conference. 2 great groups from 2 neighboring districts, and we'd like to show you those videos this evening.
I go to public school.
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 I go to private school.
And I'm proud to be in a public school.
OSBA in one word.
Transformation.
Collaborative.
Outstanding.
Networking.
Fabulous. Just fabulous.
Advocacy. We really thoroughly believe in standing up for the children of Ohio and for public education. So that has been our goal probably from day one, is Ohio's children.
We're standing on the shoulders on some amazing men and women who poured their hearts, their souls, their professional lives into this association and this conference.
OSBA came together in 1955 by an act of the General Assembly here in Ohio, bringing together 5 separate regional associations.
This whole organization started as a grassroots effort. So the 5 regions actually started first, and it was a way that they could reach all of the people in the state.
What's nice about it is that when the 5 regions come together, because the state is so diverse. You got city school districts, rural, suburban, but we all have the same problems, and we all have the same goal, which is to make public education the best there is.
It's a tremendous opportunity for us to share our ideas and to collaborate with each other.
And when you come together as a whole group, whether it be a region level, state level, it's because you're sharing ideas to benefit all the students in the state of Ohio.
Schools are a big business, a multi-billion-dollar district. And our school boards are charged with being sound stewards of your community's resources. If they're able to come to the OSBA Capital Conference and meet a vendor that can save them millions of dollars on a project, or a new and innovative project that lets them do things they've never been able to do before, that makes a difference. And if we're good with the business dollars in our schools, it frees up more money to just make a difference in the lives of students.
OSBA gives us exposure to some of the higher decision-making level to the school districts. This actually puts us in front of the decision makers, the business agents or business operations managers, and also the superintendents.
OSBA is encompassing in that everyone is included, and this is the one opportunity throughout the year that everyone meets in one place.
Basically, anyone who is interested in the medical field or wants to go further, we're able to test for our STNAs our junior year, and so get our certification to be a nurse's assistant.
What we do is we go around our village and we make videos of either historical events, some school events that go on, and just anything that people request a video for.
We participate in the FRC robotics program that stands for First Robotics Competition. We were given a chassis and a kit that we were supposed to build, and then everything on top of the chassis is all us.
The keynote speakers are an opportunity to bring a conclave of 2,000 board members to the audience at once. We're able to bring people in that are inspirational speakers, motivational speakers, educational speakers, whatever you're looking for. If you just need that recharging and be able to refocus on why you're in the business, or you're able to get some just great information from a national expert, it's a wonderful opportunity.
Well, anytime you have an organization like OSBA or any conference where colleagues can come together, it's so great, because the worst thing for any professional, whether I'm an educator, psychologist, banker, plumber, lawyer, whatever, is to do it in isolation. I don't want to be isolated. And so conferences like this allow colleagues to come together, to share ideas, to encourage each other, to share problems, to find solutions, and then really just to kind of break from the daily routine and catch a fresh breath.
I love teaching. I think teachers are the most important profession going. I hope, bottom line, that they get how much we appreciate them, how important they are. And I'm not just talking, it's very important.
You owe it to all of us to get on with what you're good at.
It's important that these people go home and they're able to share with their communities and everybody that they come in contact with that public education works.
The stand up for public schools is to ensure that every student is educated.
I stand up for public education because over 200 years ago, this nation was founded on the spirit
of free public education. So let's always remember, the best is yet to come.
I came to this conference to network, so it's a good opportunity to network with people that have years and years of experience and how can we better serve the children in Ohio.
Public education is the foundation of everything that we do in this country. And if we're ever going to be the country we want to be, it's important that everybody gets that same opportunity.
OSBA is a great conference to further education of people who are trying to do the best they can for school districts.
I think both groups of kids and their teachers did a great job, and would the students and teachers please come up to the stage to be recognized? We'd like to give you a certificate as well.
And I see Mr. Branch is coming up here as well from GlenOak. Our students are here from Hoover High School, and they're video production students, and they have the chance to get out there and do this every day. This was a special opportunity, obviously, to go down to the conference and put together the documentary, because it kind of took all their skills and they had to cram it in just a couple of days, but they did a great job at it. Starting back here, sorry guys, I can't see where everybody is. We have Kellen, who's one of our video production students, and Frankie. We also have Autumn, and then back here is Jonah. We also have Abby, and we have Catherine, and we have Mrs. Mannion over here, teaches broadcast journalism. So thank you again for having us here.
Good evening. My name is Josh Branch. I teach video production here at GlenOak. And actually, Tom Wilson was my video production teacher about 12, 13 years ago, so that's kind of neat. Before me today is Brandon Young and Adam Tolley, and one more member of the team is missing, unfortunately, Duke Rainier. And let me tell you something about these guys. They found out about the contest 3 days before the due date, and they made that video in 3 days. All by themselves. I had nothing to do with it besides, teaching them the skills beforehand, and I tell you what, I couldn't be prouder of the effort they put in. So, good job, guys.
All right, I'd like to recognize the effort that everybody put forward here from my school district, from Plain Local and GlenOak High School. I know a lot of kids chaperoned you in. I think they did a great job. And I'd especially like to thank our superintendent, Brent May, for helping me put this together. Thank you, Brent. I also want to send out a special thank you to the Stark County Educational Service Center and Superintendent Larry Morgan for helping me get people here from Stark County and making it known that we were having it here in Stark County. So thank you, Larry, for all your effort in helping us get folks here. It's my distinct pleasure to also introduce the head table and staff members from OSBA. First of all, I have our OSBA president, Mr. Ed Penrod. He's a board member from Logan Hawkins Local Schools and the Tri-County Schools Career Center. Mr. Rick Lewis, our OSBA executive director. Mr. Rob Delane, OSBA deputy executive director. Jennifer Hogue from Legislative Services. Crystal Davis from Communications. Crystal, I believe, is over here taking pictures. Is Al at the head? Where is Al Haberstroh? Okay, Al's in the audience. Al is our president-elect. He'll be president of the Northeast Region this next year. He's a board member from Trumbull County ESC. Denise Baba, who is at our head table, is past president of the Northeast Region and board member from Streetsboro City Schools Career Center. And Mr. Reno Contapelli, who is our Northeast Region director. I also want to take a moment to recognize someone in the audience, Mr. Dallas Gerber. When I was in Washington with our Federal Relations Network, I asked Congressman Bob Gibbs if he could send someone to see the wonderful things we do here and the wonderful teachers we have in Northeast Ohio. So Mr. Gerber's sitting up front here. I would also like to recognize my own Board of Education that helps me every day and has been helping me over the years. Our President, Mr. Eugene Kazantzis. Vice President, Mr. Ambrose Perduke. Board Member, Monica Gwynn. And Board Member, Kristen Donahue Gardado, who wants to leave us and is running for municipal judge in Stark County this year. But we all wish her luck. The back of your program lists the members of the Northeast Ohio Regional OSBA Executive Committee. The Regional Executive Committee determines policy for the region and plans programs and activities designed to carry out the purposes of the organization. Would all the Northeast Region Executive Committee members please rise and be recognized? And now would you please welcome Ed Penrod, OSBA President for this year, who'd like to share a few words with you.
Thank you, John. Thank you for the invitation. I appreciate being with you so much tonight. And what you've shared was well stated, because this is public education and the arts. People tell me they don't believe in it, but we saw evidence of that tonight. And for that I say thank you as well. And to the region, to my fellow board colleagues, administrators, and guests, I say a hearty good evening. And as your board president, I'd like to welcome you to your conference, the 2015 Northeast Regional Spring Conference, of all things. But what a turnout, what a showing, and that makes it all worthwhile, and I'm so appreciative of the opportunity to be with you here this evening. We had a great meal, clearly outstanding student entertainment, and we've got an opportunity to recognize the accomplishments of many who are here tonight. And I want to send a special thank you to GlenOak High School and the Plain Local School District for hosting our conference. You've been so accommodating, and I say thank you for that. I also want to thank all of you, every one of you, for what you do as servant leaders in our communities throughout the Northeast region. It is, in my opinion, your relentless passion to serve as board members that enables you to rise to the challenge in unwavering support for Ohio public education. I too share that passion for both of my school districts, and in my role of representing OSBA as president this year. Looking ahead, we know there will be plenty of challenges to which we must all rise. For you see, it's another state biennial budget year, and there's so much of what is going on in the legislative arena that impacts us with public education. Those challenges include changes to the current school funding formula. And despite calls for charter reform, charter funding could rise to nearly $1 billion a year by the year 2017 under the current budget proposal. And that, of course, is funding that otherwise would be going to our public schools. And there's also talk of allowing charters to seek local tax levies from our voters. as well as state funds for charter school renovation or construction. Now, you'll soon hear more on these and other proposals coming out of Columbus in OSBA lobbyist Jennifer Hoag's legislative update. You see, Jennifer is one of the many fine examples here tonight representing frontline everyday lobbying in our behalf for OSBA and for every public school board member and district that belongs to our association. So Jennifer, to you, please share our thanks and my thanks back to OSBA headquarters. It's great. And so this is one shining example of the many fine staff at OSBA. So I urge you tonight to pay close attention to Jennifer's update. It's crucial, it really is, to keep us abreast of the issues that affect every school district in the state of Ohio. And it's also crucial that we speak with a united voice on these issues on behalf of public education in Ohio, for our students, for our schools. And know this, OSBA will be with you every step of the way. In your districts, in your regions, in the State House. I truly believe that by working together, we each truly achieve more success. And I believe, and I know, that by working together, we shall make Ohio public education even stronger. And we shall lead our students to higher and higher levels of achievement. That's okay. And that's the truth. Ohio public education, rise to the challenge. If you tonight here believe in public education, rise now with me, please. And let us all stand up for public education. I thank you, and I look forward to serving you throughout the year. And now, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce Richard C. Lewis, our OSBA Executive Director, who will continue the program. Rick?
Good evening, everybody. All right, one more time. Good evening, everybody. There you go. There's the Northeast Ohio. Well, President Halkias and Secretary Contabelli, members of the Northeast region, thank you so much for the opportunity to be with you here this evening. Let's start off with some deep thinking. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus is famous for his insistence on ever-present change in the universe. You've heard his quote probably before, "There's nothing permanent except change." Well, this concept is wonderfully illustrated by a story about a young teacher and a little 7-year-old boy. I'll begin by giving my apologies to all the educators in the room, especially the Teacher of the Year nominee who is a math teacher, but please bear with me on this story. Now, a teacher was instructing math to 7-year-old Johnny when she asked him, "If I give you one apple and another apple and another apple, how many apples will you have?" And within a few seconds, Johnny just proudly and confidently replied, 4. The dismayed teacher was expecting a different answer, an effortless answer, a correct answer. 3. She thought, well, maybe Johnny didn't listen attentively. Maybe he just didn't hear the question properly. So she repeated, "Johnny, listen carefully. If I give you one apple and one apple and one apple, how many apples will you have?" Johnny had seen the disappointment on his teacher's face, so he calculated on his fingers. He wanted to make certain to get this right. He was searching for the answer that would make his teacher happy. This time he was a little more hesitant, but he replied, 4. Now, the disappointment stayed on the teacher's face. She knew, though, that Einstein had said, insanity, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. So she elected to employ change. She was going to change her strategy. She remembered that Johnny liked strawberries, and perhaps Johnny didn't like apples. Maybe because he didn't like apples, it was making him lose focus. So she said this time with exaggerated excitement and a twinkling in her eyes, if I give you 1 strawberry and 1 strawberry and 1 strawberry, how many strawberries will you have? Johnny calculated on his fingers again. There was no pressure on him, but there was a lot of pressure on the teacher. She wanted this new approach to succeed. But with a hesitating smile, young Johnny replied, 3? The teacher was ecstatic. She had a victorious smile. She had succeeded. She wanted to congratulate herself. But one last thing remained. So she went back to Johnny. Now, if I give you 1 apple and 1 apple and 1 more apple, how many apples will you have? Johnny replied, 4. And the teacher was just beyond. I mean, she was aghast. She says, why, Johnny? Why? Explain to me how you could have 4 apples. And Johnny said, because I already had 1 in my lunch bag. It's a long way to go to make a point about change, but let's talk about the teacher's strategy about change. John F. Kennedy once admonished us, change is the law of life. Those who look only to the past or to the present are certainly to miss the future. Winston Churchill insisted to improve is to change, to be perfect is to change often. Now, if the classic quotes aren't your thing, let me give you some contemporaries. Rapper Snoop Dogg said, I just change with the times. I really don't have a say in what's going on. Music was here before me. Or perhaps, how about Michael Jackson's sister, Janet, who revealed, I get bored with my hair. That's why I always change it in my career. But change is the constant. The point is, the world is a moving target. There's a movie quote by Danny DeVito in the 1991 movie, Other People's Money. And DeVito is quoted as saying, at one time, there must have been dozens of companies making buggy whips. And somewhere amongst them, there was a company that made the best buggy whip of them all. It was the best buggy whip you ever saw. Now, how would you like to be a stockholder in that company? You invested in a business, and that business failed. It's dead. Let's have the intelligence. Let's have the decency to sign the death certificate, collect the insurance, and invent something with the future. And his point was on target. Starving the future to feed the present is unwise. It's a mistake. It leads to stagnation. It leads to obsolescence. Another example for you. In the year 2000, there were 10,000 video game arcades in the nation. I played it a lot. Now there are less than 3,000. In the year 2005, there were only 25 arcades in all of New York City. That's amazing to me. Down from hundreds just a decade before. Now there are less than 10 video games in the entire city of New York, and you have to count Dave & Buster's just to get to that number. Entrepreneur magazine predicted that the coin-operated arcades that once generated $2.3 billion a year, let me say that again, $2.3 billion a year, will completely vanish from our landscape in the next 8 years. And they're not alone. Several other industries are going, and may soon be gone. Film cameras and developing. When's the last time you saw a cord camera or a photomat? Payphones are endangered. There are 240,000 payphones left in the United States. There were 2 million at the turn of the century. Record stores are closing in record numbers, only 1,600 left in the country, and used bookstores are being replaced by the internet. E-books have captured $3.2 billion of the market, and Amazon has 22% of the market. And as we gravitate towards a paperless society, even piggy banks are on the endangered list. But let's not stop there. The extinction timeline developed by the Future Exploration Network is even more bold. They've forecasted the demise of several industries. By 2016, there will no longer be a need for a computer mouse. By 2019, they believe we'll no longer need libraries or post offices. Let's move into the 20s. By 2020, copyrights will be obsolete. By 22, blogging and spelling will no longer be necessary. By 2025, desktop computers, gone, and AM radio, no more. By 2029, FM radio will be gone. By 2030, keys will no longer be necessary. By 2033, coins will be a thing of the past. By 36, petrol engines will be obsolete, and by 2039, wallets will be gone. Moving forward in 2047, the family room will disappear from our homes, and in 2049, physical newspapers and Google will be gone. Now that last one's the one that gets to me, Google. Google, the worldwide gross revenue for Google totaled $6 billion in 2005. Last year, it was $66 billion. Well, it's been said that our entire economy is based on obsolescence, but if Google's demise is already anticipated, can any industry be safe? Can any industry be immune? No more than the buggy whip. And I guess that's the point. The list may be off by a few years, plus or minus, and that's okay. It doesn't matter if it's off a couple years. What matters is, are you on that list? Now, right now, public education is not on the list, although I would tell you we have competitors who would like to see us on that list. Time and progress will wait for nothing, ladies and gentlemen. The exponential growth of technology has changed the way we learn and the way we live. Visionaries like Gates and Jobs have changed the trajectory of society's supply and demand. But along in this blazing path to the future are a lot of casualties, unintended collateral damage in a changing world. So buggy whips are no longer needed, big deal. And that seems of little consequence today. But without vision, what becomes of the businesses that do exist today and their dependents, the investors, the laborers, the communities they serve, where you and I live? And therein lies our challenge. Public education must prepare our students for a world that has, really, it's a world that's inconceivable today. The development of knowledge, skills, and abilities moving forward for the jobs that don't even exist yet, jobs that haven't even been thought of. We need to prepare for that. School board members need to push public education to the edge, to constantly re-examine, to be the driving force of our state's future. And this is not to suggest that our system is ineffective, actually quite the opposite. Most of our society's advances are a direct result of public education. Our schools are dramatically different than they were a decade ago. Our curriculum are stronger, our standards are higher, our achievement, frankly, is unparalleled. But it's critical that we remain vigilant with an eye towards tomorrow. The way school boards plan for what lies ahead affects not only the life of every student, but also the growth and futures of this state and our nation. So it's your challenge to make certain that our workforce, our system of public education, and our association, OSBA, do not go the way of the buggy whip. I invite you on your work to call upon OSBA in any way that you can. Anything that you need, OSBA can be there to help you. You've heard Ed talk a little bit about that. But whether it's transportation, policy, labor relations, legislation, board development, searches, strategic planning, safety, communications, electricity, financial consulting, insurance, workers' comp, focus groups, whatever you need, OSBA will be there for you. We have some answers. We have the answers, and we're only a phone call away. But human though it may be, we can't allow ourselves to become victims of tradition or our past successes. We must think constantly in terms of change. So life is dynamic. Society is dynamic. We, as an association, must also be dynamic to keep pace with the conditions around us. Tonight, I'm going to ask for 2 more minutes of your time. I think Reno has passed out some cards up and down the aisle here in the last few moments. I'm asking you for 2 minutes to answer 2 questions. We want to know at OSBA, what more can we do for you? How can we help you be more effective in your roles as a school board leader? And we want to know if there are services, if there's information, or if there's things our association can or should be doing that would be helpful to you as we move to the future together. We want to be more valuable to you than ever before, and position ourselves not to maintain the success that we've had since 1955, but to position ourselves as school boards and a vibrant association to be relevant and effective for the next 50 years. Because together, as President Penrod said, we will face the future head on. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the time to be with you here this evening. Thank you for what you do each and every day, not just for your community, but for the children all across this state. Thanks again. And I would now like to introduce to you my colleague, Jennifer Hogue, who will give you a legislative update.
Well, the legislature is in full swing, and as President Penrod said, lots is going on. I could easily spend 2 hours updating you on the ins and outs of the legislature, but Reno told me I only have 5 minutes, so here we go. The budget is really the big picture item. It's front and center. Governor Kasich has unveiled his budget plan, including school funding, The bill's currently being heard in the House Finance subcommittees. We actually are testifying tomorrow morning, so in Friday's Facts in a Flash, we'll send out a link of that testimony so you all can see what the issues are for us and where we stand. The governor has stated that his goal in this budget is to drive resources to those districts that have the lowest capacity to raise local revenue. But when one takes a look at the budget spreadsheets, we find often that the districts that we believe to be poor are receiving large cuts. And so we believe that there is an issue with the capacity formula and identifying which districts have low capacity. So we are currently working with the House on that formula to make sure that the right districts are recognized and identified and receiving the resources that they need. Thank you. Another big issue is testing. Lots of conversation at the State House about testing, everything from how much time should we be spending on testing, to what should the measurement tool be, to who should be choosing the measurement tool. And of course, in good State House fashion, the House, the Senate, and the governor all have their own approaches on what to do. House Bill 7 is a bill that just passed the legislature today and is headed to the governor's desk, and that bill provides a safe harbor for students. It makes sure that we're not taking into account this year their scores on making decisions for promotion, retention, and course credit. And that's just on the new park assessment. So for the third grade reading guarantee, this doesn't apply. Also, the Senate was kind enough to add an amendment into the bill to make sure that districts don't lose funding this year should parents choose to opt out. So all state funding will still flow to districts. That bill is expected to be signed soon and will be in effect for this school year. The House's approach to testing is House Bill 74, sponsored by Representative Andrew Brenner. It has a lot of things we've seen before, looking to cut testing time, looking to make sure that the state can't do park, looking to make a lot of changes to the end of course exams, the number of exams, how many different options there are for districts. The Senate's approach is a little different. Senator Peggy Lehner has said publicly that she believes that we should let this year go. We're in the middle of the testing cycle. Take what we learned from the administration of the new assessments, take a step back, and really look with a comprehensive view through a task force at what's going on and where we want to be, and then make recommendations. So that's the Senate's approach. We'll see which one wins out. Another big topic that President Penrod touched on is charter school accountability. Two vehicles for those changes are the budget and House Bill 2. They both take a little bit of a different approach, but they both target sponsors to try to leverage charter school accountability rather than targeting the schools themselves. The budget bill would require all sponsors to be approved by ODE before they could sponsor. So districts and ESDs who are currently sponsoring community schools would now need to go to the Department of Education to receive approval to sponsor schools. It would also prohibit sponsors from selling services to schools, which we believe really cuts into the shared services that we're able to provide to districts or to community schools as sponsors. And as President Penrod said, it creates some new money grabs for charter schools by allowing them to have access to local levy dollars and also to a $25 million pot of charter school facility funds. So those are certainly things to watch as we move through the budget process. Another big topic is education deregulation. Senate Bill 3 is sponsored by President Keith Faber and by Senator Cliff Height. There are also some measures in the budget as well. And the approach of both of these bills is to provide flexibility to districts. Both bills carve out some flexibilities for all districts and some additional flexibilities for districts that are high performing. Biggest difference in those two bills is which districts are high performing. They both have different definitions of high performing. An example of a flexibility given to all districts is a raising of the competitive bidding threshold from $25,000 to $50,000. And something that they're providing for high-performing schools are flexibilities in class size ratio and teacher licensing requirements, particularly around the third grade reading guarantee. Those are just the big topics being discussed, but there are lots of little topics. Some other things to watch are we believe there will be an attempt to limit the August special election, eliminate that, and then also some changes to who can challenge valuations for property. All of these things are going on and impact each and every district, and we encourage you to engage, to advocate, and to be active, and to communicate with our legislators. We have two great advocacy opportunities that are coming up that we hope you'll take advantage of. The first is to provide public testimony on the budget. Public testimony will begin the week of March 16th, with the first opportunity being March 18th. If you are interested in coming to Columbus and sharing your thoughts and views and how this impacts your district, we'd be more than happy to help you make arrangements to do so. Just give us a call and let us know. The other big advocacy opportunity, which I hope to see all of you at, is our state legislative conference. That will be on March 25th at the State House. We'll be inviting all of the legislators or their aides to lunch, so you'll have a chance to talk with them there. The lobbyists from each of the 3 management associations will provide you with talking points and information so that you can go make visits with your members later in the day. We'll also be visited by President Faber, by Chairman Hayes in the House Education Committee, and they'll be sharing with you their thoughts and perspectives on education and taking some Q&A. So we hope that we see you there. To register for that, you can do so on our website or by calling Lori Miller. And as always, if you have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to call us. We work for you, and we're happy to answer your questions and provide any assistance we can.
Thank you, Ed, Rick, and Jennifer. This evening, it's my pleasure, too, as president of the Northeast region, we have a new award that we started last year. It's called the President's Award. And I get to choose who gets that award as region president. It's my honor to select that recipient. This award is presented as a Lifetime Achievement Award given to a person who spent his or her career promoting public education and working to make it better. The person receiving this award this year does not know yet that they're receiving it. When I first became a board member here almost 16 years ago, I learned who the important people were in my district, and I learned who the important people were in Stark County. And when I worked to form a legislative action group in our county, I found out who could help me and who I could also count on. I also found out who was willing to take a fairly new board member to the Tri-County ESC, which I forgot to introduce Susie Lawson, our past OSBA president from the Tri-County ESC, to find out how they do things. And for those of you in Stark County, I also found out who I did not want to be driving the car I was riding in. The name of the 2015 President's Award recipient winner is Dr. Larry Morgan, Superintendent of the Stark County ESC. Larry began his career as a teacher in Plain local schools. He taught in Plain and Canton City and then served as treasurer, business manager, assistant superintendent, and superintendent in Plain local before becoming superintendent of the Stark County ESC back in 1995 and the R.G. Drage Career Center and Technical Center in the year 2000. Larry has also served on numerous boards, including the Community Healthcare Coalition, the Stark Portage Computer Consortium, Stark County Schools Council of Governments, Ohio School Employees Healthcare Board, United Way Planning Committee, Canton Salvation Army, and many other boards and organizations too numerous to mention, including the founding of our own Plain Local Schools Foundation. Larry has also negotiated contracts too numerous to mention for districts in and out of Stark County, and has spearheaded services available to local districts in inventive and creative ways benefiting all the member districts of the Stark County ESC. I really can't think of anyone who has done more for children, education, and government in Stark County than Larry Morgan. It's especially fitting because this year Larry is retiring after his many years of service to the children of Stark County schools. Larry is married to his wife Barbara and has 2 children and 4 grandchildren. So please join me in recognizing the 2015 OSBA Northeast Region President's Award recipient, Dr. Larry Morgan. And Larry, if you would please come up. And by the way, a couple weeks ago, I called Larry and I said, Larry, you got to help me get people to this meeting. You've got to help me get people here because I need good attendance so Stark County is well represented. Little did he know I was bringing him to a little celebration of his own.
Well, I certainly did nothing to deserve this. I appreciate it, and My commitment to public education couldn't be greater, and I would never change my career if I had a chance. Thank you.
We have more awards to give out this evening. Would Ed Penrod please join me and Rick Lewis as we give out the other awards for this evening along with Rob Delane. And whoever's receiving an award, after you receive your award, we'd like you to step over to the side for a photograph.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. And this is one of my favorite parts of the Northeast Regions program. This is a very special time. I'd like to go off script just a little bit and share even a little bit more with you about this first program that we're going to recognize some very special individuals, the nominees for Ohio's Teacher of the Year. The mission of the Ohio Teacher of the Year program is to honor, it's to promote, it's to celebrate excellence in teaching and the teaching profession. The Ohio Department of Education program recognizes exemplary teachers in school improvement initiatives and in the recruitment, preparation, and retention of quality teachers. Each of the three individuals you're going to meet tonight is a classroom teacher who's engaged. They're engaged in the direct learning of students, and they plan to continue in an active teaching role. They're all outstanding teachers who have demonstrated exceptional dedication and leadership to the classroom and to their communities as well. Each Teacher of the Year nominee has inspired students of diverse backgrounds and abilities to learn. They've earned the respect of students. They've earned the respect of parents and colleagues. They've played an active role in their community as well as in their school. Each of these individuals, they're poised, they're articulate, they have excellent communication skills. They possess a state and national perspective on how current issues and practices impact teaching and learning. It's very important to OSBA that everybody here this evening knows how much we value these teachers and this program. In some ways, teachers have a very unenviable job. The challenges are many. Accountability, socioeconomics, achievement, discipline, apathy, testing, over-involvement of parents, under-involvement of parents. The list goes on and on and on. And often the rewards can be few. However, I believe at times teachers may have the most enviable job in the world as well, because there's something magical, something undefinably magical when a teacher connects with a child. You know, perhaps they're the only friendly face they see in a given day. Perhaps they're the only adult in the world that cares about them. Perhaps they're the first person to unlock that child's mind and open a new world of learning and unlimited possibilities, making a difference in their world, making a difference in their life. Each spring, the Ohio School Boards Association recognizes all the Teachers of the Year nominees at our regional meetings. So this evening, I'd like to introduce to you the three very special people who have been nominated by their respective school districts and meet all the criteria to be recognized as nominees for Teachers of the Year in the state of Ohio. Our first nominee this evening is Michelle Best. Michelle, will you please come forward? Congratulations. Michelle is here tonight with her husband, Brian. Michelle Best has been teaching for 16 years in the Austintown Local School District. She has her bachelor's degree from Youngstown State and master's degree in administration from Westminster. She is currently teaching 8th grade English arts at Austintown Middle School, where she has also served as the team leader for her department the past 10 years. Apple? Still trying to get in good with the teachers. Michelle is the current vice president of Octella. That's the state affiliate for the National Council for Teachers of English. Michelle is also a past recipient of Octella Middle Level Teacher of the Year and the Academy of Arts and Science National Middle School Teacher BAMI Award winner. Michelle is a strong advocate for both students and her colleagues as she serves on various local, state, regional, and international boards. She's traveled likewise, presenting on topics that reflect her passion, teaching literacy to children. If you ask Michelle why she loves teaching, she will tell you she loves reading, and she loves books, and she loves finding the perfect book for every student that walks through her door. She loves helping students appreciate their unique gifts and talents and to believe in themselves. This has been Michelle's dream job. Congratulations, Michelle. over for the pictures. Our second nominee is Debbie Hicks. Debbie, will you please come forward? Well done. You can tell by the applause that Debbie is here tonight with a table full of family and coworkers and administrators from Medina City Schools supporting her. Debbie is a 5th grade teacher from Sidney Fenn Elementary School. She has been teaching for 24 years as a classroom teacher. She has taught math, science, language arts, and again, that whole math joke, just kidding. I hope I didn't strike a nerve on that. You got it. She also teaches a diverse population of students with specific learning difficulties in reading to those who are on the gifted spectrum. Craig Komar, her principal, says Debbie is the go-to person in her building as she volunteers and serves on many, many building committees. Debbie is a strong educational leader and an amazing person, and we are proud of her at Medina City Schools. OSBA congratulates Debbie Hicks on her nomination for Teacher of the Year. Well done. And our third nominee is Lori Michalik. Lori, will you please come forward? Congratulations to Lori. Lori's here tonight with her building principal, Mike Householder. Lori has been a teacher at Tallmadge High School for 13 years. She has taught creative writing, college prep English, general English, world literature, AP literature, and composition. Her passion for instilling a love of reading and writing in her students is just nothing short of remarkable. During her tenure on staff, she has worked with at-risk students as well as teaching advanced placement students. She approaches all students with the same positive attitude while challenging them all to improve and be their best. Jeffrey Ferguson, her superintendent, says the unique molding of personal and professional qualities to lead her colleagues and students into favorable involvement with literacy. Lori has been the driving force to promote literacy. So ladies and gentlemen, please, let's have a round of applause for Lori, nominee for Teacher of the Year. And together, let's have one last round of applause for all three of the Northeast Region's Teacher of the Year nominees. The next awards that we have this evening are the OSBA Award of Achievement. This is very special to us as well. The OSBA Award of Achievement was created in 1991. Our association wanted to recognize board members for their participation in workshops and conferences, volunteering service to their association, working on behalf of their school board, their career centers, and more. The award is a special honor, and distinction is available only to Ohio school board members. Eligible board members must submit an application for the Award of Achievement documenting 100 points earned towards the award within the last 2 years. A minimum of 70 of these 100 points must be earned by attending workshops, conferences, and service programs, exemplifying that commitment, that practice of continual self-improvement and professional development. So this evening we have a number of recipients. We'll call them by how many awards they have won, and please do not hold your applause till the end. So first, receiving her first Award of Achievement from Mentor Accepted Village Schools, Mary Briner. There's Mary. Congratulations and well done. Earning his second Award of Achievement from Champion Local, David Mahan. Congratulations to you, David. Also receiving a second Award of Achievement from Cleveland Heights, University Heights City Schools, Mr. Ron Register. Okay. Oh, Reno reminds me, Mr. Register slipped on the ice and fell today and is, I don't think seriously injured, but injured enough not to be here this evening. But we extend our congratulations and well wishes this evening. Earning her third Award of Achievement is Cheryl Basista from Weatherfield Local and the Trumbull County Career and Technical Center. Congratulations to Cheryl. Well done. Also receiving a third award from Cuyahoga Falls City Schools, Barb Gunter. Cuyahoga Falls City is going home with a lot of hardware this evening. Also receiving a third award of achievement, Kelly Patterson. We have two recipients of the four-year awards this evening. First, from Ravenna City Schools, Mr. Roger Bolts. Congratulations, Roger. And from Southeast Local Schools and the Maplewood Career Center, Mary Cayley. Well done, Mary. We have two individuals who are receiving their fifth Award of Achievement this evening. First, from Rootstown Local Schools and the Maplewood Career Center, Jay Kelsey. Congratulations, Jay. And from Southeast Local and the Wayne County Career Center, Sue Williams. Receiving his eighth Award of Achievement is Mr. Frank Monick Jr. from the Cuyahoga County Education Service Center. Well done, Frank. Receiving a ninth Award of Achievement from Rittman Accepted Village Schools and the Wayne County Career Center, Mr. Doug Stewart. Congratulations, Douglas. While the planes are circling and waiting for a spot to land, there was once a math teacher who had a 7-year-old boy who was trying to learn math. And there is one more award, not to be outdone by the 9th-year award. Receiving her 10th Award of Achievement is our very own Susie Lawson from the Tri-County Education Service Center and the Wayne County Schools Career Center. Our next award will be the Master School Board Member Award, but I'm going to wait a moment so that we can finish the photos and give it the proper attention it deserves. While I have the opportunity and a moment of dead time, Pam Cruz, where are you from? Pam, I wanted to give a quick plug for the Leo Lucas Scholarship. The Ohio School Board Association's Black Caucus has a program each year where they try to recognize, five students across the state in the memory of Leo Lucas, founder of the caucus, that will help these students as they go on to higher education. And the application for this scholarship is on our website. All I need you is to remind me of the deadline, Pam. 2 weeks. Check out our website. If you have a deserving student back home that could use $500 extra to help them in their pursuits in college, OSBA would be proud to accept their application and give them full consideration. Okay, and now as Susie goes to have her photo taken, there are some school board members that have received the Award of Achievement multiple times and have actually done that one more step above and beyond. They have earned 300 points in a 3-year period, and they are eligible to earn the Master School Board Member Award. This is one of the highest honors OSBA can bestow. The same criteria apply, but it's a lot more work concentrated into a small period of time. Once received, this designation is for life. We have 6 individuals across the state of Ohio who are earning the Award of Achievement, 3 here in the Northeast region, and 1 is here this evening. This evening, we would like to recognize the 2015 Master School Board member from Champion Local Schools, Mr. David Mahan. David, please come on up. Awesome job. As we're waiting for our last photo, what I'd like to do next is to introduce my colleague, Mr. Rob Delane. Rob is the Deputy Executive Director of the Ohio School Boards Association, and he will be presenting to us this evening the Years of Service Awards.
Thank you, Rick, and good evening, everyone. You know, the responsibilities of a Board of Education member have never been greater than they have been this last year. The interesting thing is I've been saying that for every year as far back as I can recall, and it never seems to stop. Every year, the responsibilities, the accountability factors, the things that are placed on your shoulders have been getting greater and greater and greater. You wonder sometimes what causes people to want to become a board member. Well, I think the answer is that you have a dedication to those young people in your community to make sure that they leave school able to compete in this new global society. You know, we have about 3,500 school board members in the state. Some are as young as 18, and I've met some that are in their 80s. And each has a calling. Each tries to go to work every day and go to their board meetings with the idea that, what can I do today? What can we do together to make the lives of these children even better than they've ever been before? So I guess next year I'll be saying it's never been more difficult than it is in 2016. But my hat's off to you. You know, the other thing that's really interesting too, as far as this next award is concerned, is people do get on boards of education, but at any one time in an election cycle, about half of the board members in this state are in their first term of office. So there's an awful lot of learning and relearning and leadership that has to be garnered each and every year. So as I said, there are almost 3,500 school board members, each dedicated a lot of their lives to make things better for their children, for their communities. And that's why we're here tonight, to honor those people who have gone over and above and have dedicated more than one term, and in some cases multiple terms, in service to their children and their communities. Tonight we're going to present those awards to deserving individuals and that are here this evening, and the honorees that were not able to be here this evening, we will make sure that they get their award at an appropriate venue. So, receiving 10 Years of Service Award, your own, at the front table here from Streetsboro City, Denise Baba. From Weathersfield's local, Cheryl Basista. From Wellsville, Mike Cook. Very hard to see out there. I hope they're all coming up. From Maple Heights Schools, Robert Dauber. From Minerva Local, Jeff Evans. From the Ashtabula County ESC, William Hill. From Lordstown, Roberta Hiller. It's a little like the Academy Awards with the people coming from the far reaches. From Brown Local, Tammy Hewlett. From Buckeye Local, Naoma Colcady. Okay, there she is. From Newton Falls Exempted Village, Brenda Coons. You know, I'm sure as all of you as board members that are coming up, sometimes the term of office flies by, a particular year flies by, but then there are probably some years and some terms that feel like it's 18 or 19 years. Hopefully yours this year is one of those ones that are flying by. From the East Central Ohio ESC, Terry Miller. From Maple Heights, Pamela Poindexter Crew. From Lakewood Local, Larry Shearer. From Columbiana County ESC, Richard Stout. From Berea City, Fred Sabo. And from Cleveland Heights University Heights, Cal Zucker. Sorry, also a 10-year award, Richard Scarcella from Mahoning County. I hope we haven't missed anybody. I always have that feeling that there's somebody out there that we should be recognizing and somehow didn't make the list. I guess there is one, and I did see Larry here. Larry Walton, please come forward to receive your 10-year award. We'll ask Louisville Schools, Mark Ziegler. He's so shy. Let's give a big round of applause for all our 10-year award winners. Now we have two people this evening who have gone beyond the 10 years and are now in their fourth term of office. And for a 15-year award, East Central Ohio ESC, John Croft. And while he's working his way down here, from Parma City, receiving a 15-year award, Rosemary Gulick. Let's move forward now into our 20-year award winners. These are people who have spent more time in office than board members have been alive in some cases. That's a lot of years in service to their communities. Receiving 20 years, Ravenna City, Roger Bolts. Take just a moment here. Rosemary, 8x10 glossies will be available right after the performance here this evening. From the Mahoning County ESC, Marie Dockery. And the last of our 20-year award winners from Southeast Local, Sue Williams. Just as a note, the 25-year award winners who have served those many years will receive special recognition at this year's Capitol Conference. This year, we are starting several new awards, and we're honoring those board members whose longevity extends beyond 25 years to their boards of education. As in the above awards, these will be awarded in 5-year increments. And I'll read those names of all these award recipients, whether or not they are present this evening. These are very special awards, and we wanted you to acknowledge these special people. Receiving 30 years on a Board of Education, Dennis Battles from the Geauga County ESC. And from the Trumbull County ESC, receiving a 40-year award, Beverly Friend. I am in awe of all these recipients. You deserve all the accolades and more. So let's give one last round of applause to all of our award winners this evening. Thank you.
And we have one final round of applause for all our award recipients. I want to mention one other thing before we close. You may or may not have noticed the video cameras on the side. Our video students were also live streaming this event on our website tonight. So let's give these kids a round of applause for that. This concludes our evening. Our evening is drawn to a close. Thank you for coming to the 2015 Annual Northeast Regional Spring Conference. Thank you to everyone who made this evening such a special occasion, and please, everyone, drive safely because this is Ohio. Good night.